Everyone, Dylan13 here. I know it took me a while to do this, but I wanted to see the SmackDown results and the Raw after SummerSlam to get my opinions. And now that I've seen both of them, I can actually say this was an okay show. I'm glad I didn't record this right after I did, or right after like I did for the NXT Takeover show, because I needed time to just lament, essentially, just to think about what happened. It was an interesting show, and knowing what we know now, it was even better than I thought. Starting off with, starting off with the Enzo and Cass Jericho fight. This was probably a good way to start it off. You have a good way to start off the match. Good way to start off the show. Generate some true heel heat, which I think Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens need. They're two of the best heels in the game. You kind of need to go with them. Overall, great. Next thing was the Intercontinental Championship. This match was, let's be honest, this match was boring. But going off of SmackDown, it was not as bad as you would initially would think because of The Miz. The Miz really impressed me, especially last night. He did a god tier promo last night, calling out Daniel Bryan for calling him a coward because he wrestles a coward's way. He wrestles, in his own words, I wrestle a safe way that I know that I'll be okay to come back day after day, year after year, week after week. And looking back on the match with Apollo, you could see it. The dude had 50 pounds on him, and Apollo's, he was really no match. The Miz had his number the entire time. And it was a clean finish. It was a great match. It was everything you wanted it to be. Next match was, I believe, Charlotte and Sasha Banks Women's Championship. I loved the match. I at first thought the wrong girl won until I saw that Sasha Banks actually had an injured back, and now I know that match was even better than I initially thought it was. Again, I took it upon myself. I said I was gonna record this later on. So now that I know that Sasha Banks is gonna be out for at least a month to get her back or heal her back, which, Sasha, if you ever see this, wish you nothing but the best of luck. Get that title back. It would look better on you than it did on Charlotte. And on the Monday night afterwards, Bayley got signed. And you guys remember how much I gushed over Bayley and Asuka's fight. I think everyone that in the Barclays Center that night could tell that was Bayley's curtain call, that she was getting called up on Monday, and it was a beautiful moment. And Bayley came out on Raw, looked strong as hell, and just completely beat clean Dana Brooke, which I personally have never liked Dana Brooke. Nothing against her, just I don't like the dynamic between her and Charlotte. So, more power to you, Bayley. And the fact you can say you hugged Mick Foley, that was a beautiful moment. Anyway, so after that was I believe the tag team championships that pitted the New Day against the Club. I I am not sad about this match. I am not angry about this match, about the result, especially knowing, like, again, even that night, I wasn't mad about the result. Like, I love the New Day, as you guys know if you have watched the other ones. I'm not going to stop liking the New Day. I like the club, but I don't think that just because they came in and they're the hot shit right now, they deserve to be it. They still need to earn that for me. And this match solidified that they deserve it. So maybe at Clash of Champions, we'll get the New Day losing finally. Because I'm also really glad they got the year mark because that was really cool. So after that was, I believe, yep, there was that. It was the Cena versus AJ Styles match. Match of the night. I don't care if you like John Cena, if you hate John Cena, if you want to, in AJ's own words, beat up John Cena. That was the match that needed to happen at that moment. Because, God, the crowd completely ate it up. Everyone knew that was the match to watch. And both guys, like, it turned from it was everything you wanted it to be. Both guys were both over as hell from the audience. It was great to watch Cena hit the AA and AJ kick out. AJ hit the Styles Clash. Cena kicks out. AJ or Cena then hits the AA or a Super AA off the middle rope. Everyone thought that was over. No, Styles kicks out. Styles then does a Styles Clash, gets up because he knows that's not enough to take him down, and hits Cena with a phenomenal forearm to finally put him down. It was like, if that's the match I'd say from this one. Go watch it. You won't be disappointed. It was really, really well done, and it cements every reason why I am a wrestling fan. After that was the World Heavyweight Champion. I guess that's what they're calling it. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's just the World Champion. It's the SmackDown belt. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Dean Ambrose was Dolph Ziggler. It was fine. It was everything I expected it to be. Dolph did everything he could, and he still couldn't get it done. I think that this was Vince McMahon's last ditch effort to push Dolph Ziggler over with us. He was over with us when he cashed in Money in the Bank, but that was a long time ago. I think at this point, like, as much as I like Dolph, I think I'm just tired of him. So I'm actually okay with not seeing him with the belt, because I think Dean's a better champion. He kind of reminds me of a mix of, like, Stone Cold and Roddy Piper. If I were to give personality base, he just does his own thing. He doesn't give a shit about anyone else, and it's beautiful to watch. The cooldown for I think I might have gotten the order wrong. I think the cooldown match for either AJ and Cena or that one was the SmackDown. It was SmackDown's Becky Lynch, Carmella, and Naomi versus Natalia. Let's see. Alexa Bliss, and then returning to a massive pop. I'm surprised that they actually kept her on the heel team. Brie Bella or Nikki Bella, which, again, it actually kind of makes sense for Nikki to be on SmackDown, considering, her brother-in-law is the general manager of SmackDown, and her boyfriend's the poster boy. It just makes sense. I have a feeling that backstage politics had that in that because John didn't want to be away from her, which I can see John like everyone's guilty of some backstage politicking in the WWE. Everyone knows it at this point. Nikki won, huge pop. And has since actually gotten into a feud with Carmella that actually I'm hoping will make it where Carmella is seen as a legitimate wrestler, because as good as she was in NXT, part of the reason was that she was the manager of Enzo and Cass, and as her own wrestler, she's not as good as I hoped she would be. And who knows, maybe she will, like if they do another draft or anything, or they trade some members, she'll go to Raw and she'll be with Enzo and Cass again. That'll be good. Who who knows? All I know is that it was a decent match. Nikki won. He was a huge pop for the crowd because we're all happy to see her. So enough on that. After that match was, for some reason, the Pan Ultimate match, the Universal title, unveiling the belt there. I feel it was a mistake looking back on it, but I don't take anything away from this match at all. The problem I had with the belt was, and I don't have it anymore. Like I see what they're doing with it now. The belt, it just looks like a palette swap of the World Championship belt. It's just the World Championship belt, but red. It could work, or like if it was like revealed the day of Raw when they announced the Universal Championship, if they got the belt that day, I don't think anyone would have cared. But they built it up and built it up like, oh, we have a new belt. Oh, we have a new belt. This is gonna be an amazing belt, and it's the same belt. Hell, just wait a week. If they had waited a week after the draft, I'd be okay with that. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. Anyway, the match itself, though, aside from the crowd for the first 10 minutes or so, this match was fantastic. Easily the second best match of the night. Would have been match of the night if Cena Styles hadn't happened an hour before. This pay-per-view was really long. And knowing what I know now about how Finn Balor actually beat Seth Rollins with a dislocated shoulder that actually may have got him out for 4 to 6 months, and he popped in his shoulder by himself. This match was better than anyone deserved it to be. It was better than both the guys deserved to show for us. For the price, at least. In my opinion. I could just be full of shit, but I think I know that already. Anyway. Then, so like I say, this should have been the penultimate match. It should have been the second to last match of the night. But for some reason, they put the U.S. title match. They scheduled it after this, which now knowing what they did, or now seeing what they were doing, it makes a lot more sense. This was their buffer zone match. They knew that the Seth Finn match was going to be as amazing as it was, and they knew that no one likes Roman, so they would be silent for the match. So they put Roman, just beat the shit out of Rusev for 5 minutes, speared him, walked away, speared him again, and walked away. Book him like that. Book him as a legit heel. He needs to be a person we don't like. He needs to be like his cousin. Book him like The Rock, and this will be okay. That's all I'm going to say about that. Final match, as you probably expected me to talk about. Brock Lesnar just beating the ever-loving shit out of Randy Orton. Now, I love Randy Orton. He was my favorite wrestler in the Ruthless Aggression era. I respect the hell out of him, but even I had to ask, what the fuck are you doing with Brock Lesnar? You are in two totally different leagues. And it's not anything against Randy Orton. He's a phenomenal wrestler, but Brock Lesnar can kill people. He shouldn't be wrestling Randy Orton, and it showed. The only offense that he got was 2 RKO's, and they didn't even do anything to Brock. Brock hit I think no less than nine Germans and about 2 F5s before he just decided to say fuck it and just beat the ever-loving shit out of his forehead, causing a lot of blood, which now we know was a work. The finish was actually planned because of all people, Chris Jericho. And you haven't heard this story, I'm going to relay real quick. Chris, who's actually good friends with Randy in real life, didn't know that he was watching it, and he went over. He asked Michael Hayes if this match finish was a work or if this was a shoot. He didn't know. He was like that finish. Like, why aren't you telling me? This is bullshit. And when he said this is bullshit, Brock walked in after he had just did an F5 on Shane O'Mac, which he only got fined $500 for. Ooh, he has more money in his couch than that. Anyway, so Brock thought he was talking about, or that Chris was talking about the match itself, and got in Jericho's face, pushed him around, and Jericho decided to try to beat, or tried his best to beat the ever-loving shit out of Brock. Triple H had to step in, break up the fight. So did a bunch of other, they had to get a bunch of security and all that to break them up. Vince ran over wanting to see what the fuck was going on. And Triple H actually had to stand up for Chris, saying, no, Brock started this. It was him. It was Brock doing something or talking shit like he always does. And yeah, it was a work. But it could have been handled a lot better. It left everyone in the crowd just like, what? Why did they end it like that? They wanted to get people talking, I guess, but they did it wrong. So those are my thoughts. This video's already running a long time. I can see it. And wrapping up, it was a decent pay-per-view, but it fell victim to the same thing that WrestleMania did, which was the takeover the night before blew everything out of the water. It completely undermined the entire show, which Triple H probably found amazing, but knowing Vince, he's not too keen on it. He knows that his brand, he thinks that his brand should be better than his son's or his stepson or his son-in-law's brand. In reality, or NXT as it stands is Triple H's baby, as we all know. But yeah, great pay-per-view, but it could have been a lot better. Had we gotten this first, I would have said it was a lot better. If they had done, if they had switched the events around, they probably would have won me over a lot easier if I hadn't seen TakeOver. But that being said, this has been Dilemma 13. I'll see you guys later.